Hi, Desirea. Sorry, this is just about one day late. And I know you're at band right now. I'm right at Boulder Creek, and I could hear you guys pretty positive. I heard you guys playing. But anyways, I have your test to go through, just like we had talked about before. Please remember, the one thing I did notice is that you have an additional attempt. So make sure that you know you don't not only get extra time, but you do have additional attempts as well. So you can always retake the test. I already have that all set up for you. I just wanted to remind you about that. If we are looking at this first one, which of the following best describes the effect of the Justinian Code on Europe? It preserved and organized ancient Byzantine laws, eventually leading to the basis of Europe's legal system. That is ding, 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 correct. So remember, when you did your Justinian poster, you should have talked about the Justinian Code. That code, anytime we talk about codified law, it's actually really, really important. And because that is a law that is going to apply to everybody within a realm, instead of you all having lots and lots of different laws, and laws can get confusing in different regions. One region has the entirety of the law. So what he did was he took those old Roman laws and made some new laws and combined them together to make this first set of codified laws across the entire Byzantine Empire, which does become the basis of the idea of having laws for specific regions in Europe. Okay, so good one to know. It looks like you just forgot the feudal pyramid, so hopefully you have gone back and looked at the feudal pyramid. Remember, we have the kings, nobles, knights, and serfs, all right? That is the order in which we have our mutual obligations. That was just a problem. Maybe it's this accept question, so make sure you're paying attention to the accept ones. Yep, see, I have a feeling it's these accept questions, so make sure, because here's another one. Look at this. So all the following were ways the Crusades affected European life except, and the correct answer is definitely the Christians regained the whole permanently. It's that permanently piece of the holy city of Jerusalem. Yes, they won the first crusade, but there were 8 crusades after that, and all of those resulted in the Muslims having that land. They did, however, learn new, more efficient shipbuilding techniques, which lead to the age of exploration. They had new demand for trade of foreign products, and that's actually going to increase their economy. And then they also have that revival of learning and interest in philosophy, which is going to lead us into the age of the Renaissance. Okay, so that's a good one. Well, you got a couple accept questions there. That's good. Yep, this is, again, part of that... that feudal pyramid. So this comes directly from your lesson on this. And it also was part of your vlog project as well. So this code of ethics, that is chivalry for our knights. Let's see. Okay, so in terms of this farming practices in medieval Europe, because we were able to give land to these vassals, the vassals were able to actually farm, and it wasn't going to be like the king. Before, like, we had the idea of vassals and people like parsoning, like, what am I saying? Like dividing up the land. There we go. The king would have had to have been responsible for farming his entire land. But once we started the vassal system and actually giving the each section of partitioning, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for, of the land up, that was going to help out with the system so that we can have better use of our land and actually farm it more efficiently. And so that would be the correct answer there. Okay, let me see. And then this is directly from your, lesson, your Black Death lesson. Black Death investigation. In fact, you had a map, I'm pretty positive it was fairly similar to this. You always want to remember that it came from Asia. Okay, this is Asia over here. And the Mongols helped spread it, and trade across the Silk Roads helped spread it as well. And boom, it went from east This was right from your lesson, if you, hopefully you did it. But it goes east to west and south to north as it traveled up through Europe. And this is a tiny little Europe right over here. The plague did not really hit much of Africa. And finally, the last ones. Okay, one of the reasons that the practice of feudalism began to decline in Europe was that, yeah, serfs didn't join to fight. They didn't have any fighting skills because they were not knights. Knights were the only ones who were really skilled to fight, a lot of noblemen and stuff. All right. I don't really like this question very much now that I'm re-looking at it, because, yeah. Oh, I see why. Okay. Wow, I was even reading that one wrong. That was a little rough. I've also had a really long day. Sorry, I'm going to ramble for a second, but yeah, I had kids in here at the library at 1:15, and I mean, I just had kids leave. So it's been a really long day, Desirea. I'm telling you what. So anyways, no, I get this. So the nobles, the knights, who were also nobles because there were many nobles who were knights, etc., they actually had to sell off their land and free their serfs. Not for, so I was reading that so the serfs could go and participate. The serfs aren't participating. I'm right. I was like, that's weird. No, it's so that they could themselves go and participate. They actually had to have enough gear. I mean, if you think about it, they were literally, sorry, rambling again, but they're literally going from Europe, okay? So some of these people in France, all right, or the French region, they are literally traveling like with their horses, because they have multiple, and their any sort of servants that they can take with them, and multiple things of gear and food and supplies to get them there. It's going to take them a long time to get there. And so in order to do that, they did have to sell off their estates. And sell off even their serfs had to be freed as well, so that they could actually have enough money in order to join these armies and go and fight in the Crusades. So that's just one reason that feudalism began to decline in Europe. Another reason, of course, was the fact that the Black Plague came around and killed off a third of the population of Europe, and this allowed for serfs to start demanding wages from their employers. So, oh, goodness, it's already been 7 minutes, and I'm going to let you go. But I hope that this helped a little bit. If you have any other questions, let me know. Just remember, next time you still have one whole, attempt left. So make sure that you are making use of both of your attempts, okay? Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you later.